Placencia Lagoon, a 15-mile body of water west of the Caribbean Sea, just behind the peninsula, has for the past 15 years been the subject of protection by environmentalists, lobbying for government to declare it as a reserve. The lagoon, which is connected to 3 important rivers in South Stan Creek, is renowned for its biodiversity, a natural habitat for Morlet's crocodiles, jabiru storks, as well as the West Indian manatees. Extensive development on both sides of the lagoon, however, is threatening the ecosystem. While environmentalists, including Friends of Nature, are urging the Barrow administration to list the lagoon as a protected area, the news tonight is that several acres of Crown land within the designated reserve have been sold by the Ministry of Natural Resources to friends and relatives of Deputy Prime Minister Gaspar Vega. A total of 4 parcels located on 2 islands within the lagoon, the largest being a 15-acre plot belonging to Dominique Gomez, the girlfriend of Vega's son, were distributed 6 days prior to the March 7th general elections of last year. Among those who also purchased prime real estate at rock-bottom prices are Douglas Usher, reportedly a close friend of Andre Vega, and Bertrand Brown, an employee of the minister. Despite several attempts to have the land titles returned, the properties remain under private ownership, notwithstanding a cabinet directive. News 5 spoke by phone with Mary Toy, a Placencia resident who has been active in the conservation effort.
The background is that there's been an effort to have the Placencia Lagoon put into some form of reserve status for over 15 years. It's even listed on some maps as being in protected status, but apparently back in the 90s when that occurred, they got to a certain point and then nothing ever happened to actually carry it to fruition. Over the years, the lagoon has been treated for a lot of different reasons. There's a lot of development, a lot of dredging, a lot of effluent flowing into the lagoon from new development, residential and tourism. Shrimp farms have put a lot of effluent into the lagoon in the past, although they have substantially cleaned up their operations. People have been cutting mangrove down without permits. The lagoon is an essential part of the ecosystem here. Many of the fish that and shellfish that we eat start their life in the lagoon, and they end up in the sea where they're caught and they feed people here or they're exported. So through the process of the consultations, we'll get community input and then we'll come up with a management plan, and the lagoon will be designated, we hope, obviously that's up to cabinet ultimately, as a protected area, either a wildlife sanctuary under forest or a marine protected area under fisheries.
My understanding is that there are 2 islands within the lagoon that have been parceled off to 4 individuals. Are you aware of this, or can you elaborate on your knowledge of what's currently taking place with that?
Yes, I understand that occurred. We discovered that when we were doing our research, because we have to, when we submitted our proposal to Forest and Fisheries, we had to provide a map. So we went to lands. We got that information. We approached some of our associates in national government with the information that they had been parceled out, and they agreed with us that these were really essential to the health of the lagoon, and that probably should not have been done. So what we understood was that those transactions were going to be in some way reversed. I don't know whether it's reversed and people just, they wouldn't have the land, or whether they would land in exchange for that land. I don't have those details, but we were supposed to get some mechanism to get the land back.
News 5 attempted to speak with Minister Vega earlier today, but he declined comment on the occasion of his birthday.